1430 ESPN. It is Inside the Patch with Gnarley Charley and a host of Raider fans that have been on the show, but we're switching gears. We have the one, the only. His name is Raider Hater. What is up?
What is happening, Gnarley? You know, I'm all charged up.
Yeah,
I can't wait. Oh,
wait,
yeah,
so
here it comes.
Who is your favorite NFL team?
Well, whoever's playing the Raiders, I'll tell you in 2 weeks who it's going to be, the Arizona Cardinals. You know? So that's a fact, Jack.
Okay, but now I know you're from the San Joaquin Valley, so you do have some love for Fresno State, right?
Oh, I love the Dogs. You know, I first of all, I hate the Raiders, but I don't hate any of their players because I'm a dog for life. You know what the Dogs never going to do to me? They're never going to leave, you know, because that's what the Raiders did to me when I was a little boy. They left me. What date was it? Okay. March 1st, 1980. They left town.
Okay, so you were a Raider fan.
Die hard. Hawaii, Halloween outfits. I went as a Raider or a Pirate every year. Total Raider fan.
Oh.
And my dad took me to a lot of games back, you know, because I'm an older man, back when they were 10, 15 bucks a game. You know, I went all the games. Loved the Raider fans at that time. And then they left. It was like they broke my heart. It was like my dad left my mom for my girlfriend. You know, that's how much it hurt me. And I'm still dealing with that pain. I still deal with it. And then this is what, 42 years ago.
First off, $15. You can't even get an apple at the Raider game for $15.
No, I think they were like 12, Gnarly.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Yeah, no doubt.
So
you know, and then just growing up, it's crazy.
All right. Now I understand. And I'm not here to try to convince you, but I do love that you love the Dogs. And one of the funniest things you do is when you do your dog bark, it's really good. You got
it gets loud too. It's like a siren. You hear me coming.
Loud.
You hear me coming. Oh, I'm excited for Saturday for sure. I'll be there. Go Dogs.
You're not really a hardcore Charger fan, but I mean, when you see Derek hit Devontae Adams.
I am Sunday.
But I mean,
I will be Sunday. Go ahead.
Oh, I'm just going to say it right now. First play from scrimmage, it's going to be a bomb to Devontae. Everything's going to get rid of the ball. He's going to throw a bomb. I'm calling it right now.
All right. You know, if you say so, we charged up. That'll be the last good play they have, probably.
All right.
You know? Well, we'll see what happens. I think the Chargers are gonna knock out the other eye. They're gonna need 2 patches in 2 weeks. I don't know how they're gonna be able to play the Cardinals with 2 patches on their eyes, but hey, I'm rooting for them. You know, get Devontae the ball. I hope they have big stats. You know, but I hope they lose. So what's
your pick for the game?
Oh, Chargers by 10.
Ladies and gentlemen, Raider Hater. You'll be on next week, right?
There's no, that's a fact. When you're 0-1, I can't wait. Can't wait.
Raider Hater, we'll see you next week. Thanks for coming, man.
Thanks, Charlie. Take care.
Go back to Inside the Patch, 1430 ESPN. It's your host, Gnarley Charley. We do want to thank Fresno Rack and Shelving, plus Porta Subs. They're still slicing right now. And also, if you get a chance, if you want to donate to Valley Children's Hospital, go to 51555 and type the word Gnarly, and you just made a $10 donation. It's that easy. Inside the Patch is a show about the Las Vegas Raiders or the Fresno State Raiders. And right now, we're bringing in the fantasy football guru. His name is Fantasy Fitz. What's up, man?
Hey, Charlie. Thanks for having me on. This is great. I love what you're doing. You know, the Raiders, they're a fine ball club, but you know what? Because of the Fresno State connections, we have to love this team.
Yeah, I mean, it's so amazing that Devontae and Derek are together. And I tell everybody, like, I don't care how you feel about the Raiders, you gotta root for Fresno State. And now, one of the reasons I wanted you to come on is the fantasy drafts are pretty much over, and you are one guy I know that's probably involved in more fantasy football than anybody I know. Tell me, how many drafts have you been on this year?
So I have 5 teams going right now, and that's probably where I'm going to be stuck at. I'm stuck at 5. Last year I did 6. It was too many. I'm going to be honest with you. 6 is too many. In fact, 5 is too many, but I'm doing 5 this year.
Some of your leagues, though, are really not this nerdy. I mean, they're very stat oriented. There's a lot to them, right?
So I'm in a league where we draft defensive players It's crazy. The scoring system's just out of this world. It's like for stat nerds. You basically get minus points for rushing attempts.
Oh, wow.
So you basically want guys that have high per play average or high average run per play. Otherwise, you get penalized if they run the ball too much, if that makes any sense to you.
It's kind of like there's like softball leagues that are super serious, and then there's beer softball leagues. I mean, just like fantasy football, there's the complete crazy study nerd ones, and then there's the ones that are, let's have fun. Who cares?
I mean, one draft is so big. We draft 26 rounds because we have defensive players that we draft.
Oh my God.
And it's insane how long these drafts take.
Well, I brought you in because the Raiders are playing the Chargers opening up, and I want to know if we were playing fantasy and you got Raiders or Chargers in your team, who should you be playing?
Well, here's the good thing, and it goes for everybody in that AFC West. I believe the defenses are way behind the offenses, and there's going to be shootouts every single time two of these teams play. Starting with this first one, Las Vegas at the Chargers. It's going to be a scoring fest, and you're almost going to start all of your Raiders and Chargers. I mean, obviously, you're going to start Herbert and Eckler and Jacobs and Adams and Keenan Allen and Mike Williams and Darren Waller. They're no-brainers. You are starting those players. If you have Carr, he might not be your best quarterback, but he might be worth a start just because of what's going to happen in this game. Renfro is also a maybe start, depending on how deep your receivers are. But Renfro, he's almost like the Raiders' version of Cooper Kupp. So I expect big things out of him this year, actually.
I have Devontae and Derek, and so I'm kind of all in with him. And so I'm expecting you on the week, so you think I should sit him to let me know.
Well, I'm just saying, anytime that the Raiders are playing somebody within their division, it might not be a bad idea to go with Carr, because I'm telling you, they're going to have to throw. And guess who he's going to throw to? He's going to throw to Adams. He's going to throw to Waller. He's going to throw to Renfro. So those guys are all safe bets.
Right. That's good stuff. All right. What about, okay, like, is there someone out there that people know who they are, but they don't think of them as a fantasy football piece of gold? I mean, who's the best kind of sneaky fantasy football players out there?
And you're not going to want to hear this, but I'm telling you, Juju Smith-Schuster is now replacing Tyreek Hill with the Chiefs. Mm-hmm. And guess what? Mahomes loves to throw the ball to everyone, but they love to throw the ball to Hill and Kelsey. But guess what? Who took Hill's place? It's Juju Smith-Schuster. I expect huge things out of him this year.
Oh, that is not good news. Not at all. But what about, okay, what about the Raiders and Chargers? Who's your favorite for this weekend? If you had to pick two players, who are you thinking?
Well, I love Adams. Devontae Adams is going to be large. I'm telling you, Carr got the best receiver he's ever seen, and they have that chemistry from Fresno State. I'd love to see. I think Devontae Adams is going to light it up. I'm telling you. I'm looking forward to that. And then Darren Waller, he's been hurt supposedly. Really, he hadn't signed his contract. It was funny. He signed his big contract, and all of a sudden his knee doesn't hurt anymore. He's fine. He's ready to go.
Actually, they say a couple $1 million fixes everything. So
yeah, and I think he's going to be large. And I think you can't go wrong with Carr and Herbert for the Chargers. Eckler was a very, very high pick. They're going to give him the ball, and they're going to feed him the ball. Trust me.
All right, I like what you're saying. This is all good stuff. You're going to be here all year with us. Fantasy Fits in the house. Thank you for hanging out with Inside the Patch.
Hey, thanks, Charlie.
One of the really cool things about Derek Carr is not only his willingness to stand up for Valley Children's Hospital, but he doesn't forget where he came from. I mean, he was our quarterback at Fresno State. He met Heather, his wife. They have 4 kids now. But one of the coolest things I've ever heard is when I got to talk to Derek about the situation with Valley Children's Hospital. This is when Dallas was just born. Here's Heather and Derek. They're brand new married. They don't have anything really going for him. He's the quarterback of Fresno State. Valley Children's Hospital stepped up to help Dallas.
Dallas, yeah, man. He's my oldest boy, which is crazy to say now. My oldest boy. And Dallas had intestinal malrotation. So his intestines were all tangled up when he was born and cutting off his blood flow, blood supply. And when he was born, they didn't have any clue that was going on. So it wasn't like we had a head start or knew what was coming or anything like that. It was kind of just thrown on us. And so not only are you terrified as a father, as a parent, to even, how do I change a diaper? What do I do when they cry? How do I handle those things? But now you have this going on, and everything is going through your mind. They tell he might not make it. No, we need to rush him over to Valley Children's. So we rushed over to Valley Children's, and long story short, I just had breakfast with Dallas. He is doing great. Valley Children's helped save his life, man.
I thought that was really cool when you finally had your daughter.
Oh, that was so big because I was getting nervous. I was like, man, we're on our way to 8 if we don't have a little girl. Definitely, we got our little girl, so it's awesome.
It's funny how things tie together. I mean, you were number 4. You have 4 kids. I mean, I come from a family of, there were 3 older boys and a baby daughter just like you. And I'll tell you right now, the daughter will be completely spoiled.
I told my wife, I was like, now I finally have one of our kids I don't have to raise to leave our house. She can live with us forever. I just always felt like anything I can do for our community, I just want to help. I don't know every time what's the best way to do it, but I know using my platform and using the football thing and all this, whatever I can do to help raise awareness, help raise money, help whatever I can do to help, because I have been in the shoes of Valley Children's as a parent. I've been there. It's tough. It's hard. You have so many questions. How am I going to do this? How am I going to do that? And there's a lot of things that go through your mind. And if we, as the community, if we as leaders in our community can, ease that burden or put a smile on somebody's face, then we're kind of obligated to do such.
I love when you wear your Valley Children's shoes when the NFL allows that.
Always says Valley Children's on there. I let my son Dallas and Decker draw and stuff, and put whatever they want on there. But they have fun with it, so we'll see what they come up with this year.
Text the word gnarly to 51555. That's 51555, and you donate $10. Man, I want to thank everybody for being on the show. We had Wes from Australia. We had Gage. We had Danny Hill. We had the Grim Raider was on. Even Raider Hater and Fantasy Fits. And, of course, Derek Carr to tell us all about Valley Children's Hospital. I will see you next week as we hang out inside the patch at 1430 ESPN, your Valley sports leader. Go Raiders!
Every Friday, tune in for Inside the Patch, featuring interviews with former and current Raiders. Join Gnarly Charley Fridays at 4 p.m. right here on 1430 ESPN with guests like Bill Romanowski, Raider Cody, Samoan Raider, and many more as Gnarly paints the Valley silver and black. 1430 ESPN, your official home of the Las Vegas Raiders.